Hey there, Brian King here. I've been seeing a lot on Facebook about this push-up challenge. I'm not entirely sure what has spawned it. I haven't done the research because I can't do push-ups. Partially because of the Ehlers-Danlos. My joints are so loose that my clavicles pop out. When I roll my shoulders a certain way, when I reach over my head to get something out of the cabinet, my clavicle pops out. So I can't imagine what would happen if I tried to do push-ups. But I read one this morning that the gentleman in question had a goal for 1,000 push-ups, and he only did a little under 400. Damn, that was impressive to me in terms of a physical feat. Hey there, Janae and Phoebe, and I've seen a lot of people doing like a 21 or 22 push-ups a day kind of thing, and it got me thinking about something I heard many, many years ago. That because I tried to do some physical working out for a while to kind of build up my muscles. This was before I knew about the EDS, and I didn't realize that it was causing more damage than it was benefiting from. But what I learned is that the gain in building your muscles up or whatever, or getting more toned, is when you push yourself a little bit beyond what you believe your muscles capacity is. So let's say you do 10 reps of curls, right? And you're struggling on 10. Where do you think the gain comes? Where do you think the strength is built? It's not built on repetition 10. It's built on repetition 11. So when you go one step past what you believe your capacity is. So I was thinking, man, this is a hell of a metaphor for life. These guys that are doing these push-up challenges, yeah, maybe their goal was 22, but what if they did 23? That's how you build muscle. That's how you build stamina. That's how you build your capacity to go one step further than you did before. And when we learn resilience in life, it's very, very similar to that concept. You have a certain capacity, certain abilities, certain knowledge, certain skills that allow you to maintain the level that you're at in life. But if you want to be able to handle more responsibility, you want to be able to handle more demands, you've got to stretch, you've got to grow, you've got to go one more repetition so you can grow a little bit more. And we're talking about emotional and psychological muscle. If you stay in your comfort zone and all you do is 10 reps, 10 reps, 10 reps, after a while it gets so easy. Hey there, Kayla. After a while it gets so easy that you really don't feel any gains anymore. That's the danger of the comfort zone. You stay within what you're familiar with, you don't push yourself any further, and you get stuck. You stop moving forward. So when I'm looking at this gentleman saying that he wants to do 1,000 push-ups, yeah, probably not on my list of things to do. It's certainly not going to make it on my bucket list. But then when I look back at the things that I've done, when I look at how I overcame cancer, how I managed this physical disability, how I managed my ADHD and my kids' ADHD and so on, what occurred to me was that every time something came up, hey there, Lisa, every time something came into my life that exceeded my current capacity and I needed to grow in order to be able to handle that extra load, it was like repetition 11. It was doing one more rep, just pushing myself a little bit further so I could build that mental and emotional muscle that allowed me to handle that capacity. So when you're seeing people that are physically fit, that person ran 26 miles today, or a buddy of mine just ran from Orlando to Chicago. Took him 30 days to do it. He did it to raise awareness for physical disabilities. He's an amazing guy. But when I saw him chronicling this on Facebook and him talking about how he pushed himself to go one extra mile, one extra quarter mile, that's the muscle building strategy that we all use, whether it is physical muscle, mental muscle, or emotional muscle. And all these people that think that they're not actually building anything. When you wake up the next morning, if you're suffering from anxiety or depression or anything else that brings a sense of huge resistance in your life, each day you wake up and you keep going is an opportunity to examine that and ask yourself, why did I make this step? Why did I go a little further when the chatter in my head tells me, why do you bother? Why don't you just give up? What's the point? There's something in there that's telling you to stretch. And if you don't realize that, then you might conclude same shit, different day, which is thinking that does you no good whatsoever. But when you see that you are on repetition 11 and you can decide to stretch and ask yourself, is this resilience I'm doing? Is this allowing me to bounce forward instead of giving up? What is this? What's compelling me to keep moving? This is a very important question for each of us to ask ourselves, especially if we're dealing with something chronic. Like a fibromyalgia, like an ADHD, an Asperger's, in my case, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. There's something that keeps us going, and please don't let it be to just put up with what you did yesterday. That's like doing the 10 reps and nothing more. Every day we get up, we have an opportunity to ask ourselves, why did I get up today? Why did I keep going? Where has my capacity to manage life with greater strength, mentally, emotionally, physical, whatever it is? What compelled me or helped me move forward? Where is the growth opportunity? Because one thing, hey there, Judy, one thing that I've recognized in myself is the more crap you pile on top of me, the stronger I get. People see me for my positive attitude with all this stuff that's been piled on top of me. Yeah, that's because instead of saying why me and playing the victim role, I ask, what's next? What do I do now? What's the solution? What resources do I need? And as soon as I get everything I need to handle this load, it doesn't feel like a load anymore. It feels like something I can handle. I see people on Facebook every single day that are all, woe is me, and my life is terrible, and when will this end? And I don't want to minimize their suffering. I'm not in their shoes. It's quite possible that what they're dealing with casts a shadow over mine like nobody's business. But I've also seen people that have gone through things much, much worse than I could ever imagine and came out of it stronger because they used it as that extra push-up, that extra arm curl. They use it as that opportunity to stretch into something bigger, to open the door to new knowledge, new skills, so that can become something that's manageable instead of overwhelming. So I'm now looking through this push-up challenge through a whole new lens because I realize I've not been doing push-ups my whole life. I've been doing push-forwards. There's adversity. There's something that's in my face to try to knock me down, and I step into it. One more step so that I can build just a little bit more capacity. And just that mindset alone could do wonders for your life. Stepping one more day, one more moment, one more step forward. Step into new knowledge, step into new strategies, so you can build that emotional and psychological muscle that you need in order to be able to navigate a world that provides a lot of resistance to you. But the more equipped you are, the more that resistance goes poof, because you're prepared to meet it head on. If this has been helpful, let me know in the comments that this has been beneficial to you, and I hope it has been. And I guess that's pretty much it for this. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you commenting, and chances are I'll be back later.